across the globe, one, and across the nation. So Delta State is not, it's not peculiar. It's all over. But however, to some extent, whether I would like it or not, it's my opinion, which of course I'm entitled to. The state governor has tried to some extent. To some extent. I say so because talking about health-wise, that is the health section, sports section, security section, then infrastructure, empowerment, he has tried to some extent. He has tried. I say so because what we're experiencing in this country today, what we're experiencing, honestly speaking, if Delta State is standing out as in when you talk about empowerment, I am aware, not just aware, I know very well concerning the empowerment aspects. The Delta State government has tried. They've empowered the youths, and I'm not surprised. That's why we have reduction in our crime rate to some extent, because you can never eliminate crime. You can reduce it. Empowerment of the youths, and if you empower women and widows, I tell you from my experience, not just from my experience, from my profession, definitely it's going to reduce crime rate, and that is what we're experiencing because you've been able to empower this set of people I'm talking about.
Okay, sir. If I will get you clear,
that have issues with power supply concerning the skill acquisition, they all have generator. That is not to say that because that's what they are expected. Because if you empower them, if you give them a starter pack without a generator to do their job, the salon, the hairdressing salon aspect, they give them generator. They which other people use generator? The tailoring, they give them generator. So for that aspect, just to answer your question straight, those are part of the power pack they give to them, or the starter pack, not power, the starter pack they give to them. And it cannot do otherwise. Thank God you just talk about the whole nation. Delta State is not exception when you talk about power issue. I don't know about other areas, but for this area, to some extent. And I'm sure if you're not aware, this had actually made, there's a real shake-up in the discourse as we speak, real shake-up. To the three of them, not even three of them, more than
Benin, Kano, and Kaduna.
Even Port Harcourt, inclusive, to the extent that AMCO has taken over. So it is not issue of Delta State. I'm here to talk about, I'm sorry, you want me to talk about just Delta. So I don't know about other states, but for the Delta aspect, there's no exception.
Okay. So
when they've experienced that, where you give them starter pack in the past, they will go and sell it. But what they do now is, before they even give you starter pack, you must have experience. They select those that have experience, that has experience on the area of their interest. If you have experience, if you are doing tailoring before, you don't have means of, paying your rent, buying more equipment and what have you. Those are the people that are actually empowering. And it cut across not tribal, not religion, parties. There's no particular, of course, they are not selective. They do it at random. If you know you're qualified. And apart from ensuring that these people are going to use, that is giving it to the right people. You've learned, if you don't, that's why they send them to other institutions to be sure that this person actually have an idea of what you want to empower him or her about before they actually release the starter pack to them. That I know very well. Because talking about selling it, we know what our people do. There are ways they handle their things and what have you. They want to sell because either because of, I won't call it, most cases I would say it's ignorance. It's ignorance. But that notwithstanding, when what they do now, even if you want to sell, it will be difficult for you to sell it because they monitor you. After some months, they'll come back to see what you've done with what they've empowered. That is what the starter pack, what they've, to the extent, as we speak, I'm very aware too that this weekend, they are doing other set of empowerment. And it will interest you to know that each of these people, each of these trainee or whatever you call them, beneficiaries, minimum of 700,000 for one person. The cost of what you are empowering them with, that is the starter pack. Minimum. And not only that, they are even going extra length to pay for their rent for 1 year. So if I pay for your rent and you show me the place, you show me the landlord, I pay the money to the landlord, we expect you to be there because we're going to come after 6 months to see what you've done. If they are doing that, why not? That is to tell you they have monitoring team that is actually monitoring these beneficiaries to be sure that they are not investing or empowering the wrong set of people.
Okay, sir. Although you say you're not a politician.
Wike has its own states and they have their own priorities. Delta State is our state. We have our own priorities. Our own priorities is, if you really want to compare these two people, I am not a politician, but I look from afar and I study them too. I know they are what and what. I can even say more than those that call themselves politicians. Our governor started as local government chairman. Where did Wike started from? Our governor rise to commissioner and many others. And it's not the talking type. You talk too much, you talk yourself into more problem. Yes, Wike is loud, no doubt about that. He's vocal, no doubt about that. But it's not the backhead, the dogs that backs more that compare accession and Rottweiler. Rottweiler doesn't back. Rottweiler will just relax. As soon as you step into that premises, Rottweiler will just trap you there. But accession, what they do, they back, don't come close to us. So there's difference. For me, I think it's the best choice. For me, it's my opinion, I'm entitled to it. I think it's the best choice, and I'm very sure whatever he's doing now. I'm talking about, capacity. One, Delta State is mini Nigeria with different tribes and different, different kind of people. But River State, we just have just only the Queries and the Rivers Ijaw. We have those two major tribes there. But Delta State, we have more than 4 major tribes. So if we enable, since it's resumption of power, me and you know very well that crisis has reduced in Delta State. Whether we like it or not, crisis has reduced in Delta State. And with that, we should give him kudos. We should give him kudos for that. Very unlike those times, this community is having this problem, this one is having this one. No. He's been able to reduce the level of crisis, restiveness in Delta State. And we're very sure, I'm very, very, very sure that he will be able to replicate that in the national.
Thank you very much.
Circumstances surrounding that death. For crying out loud, in as much as we all know that our security agents are not magicians, our governor too is not a magician. He cannot be everywhere. If the security agents have tried, because I am privileged to be a security consultant and I know more about most of these things. If the security agents have tried, because I want to go to that particular incident you talk about, to destroy, to stop them about these drugs and court activities, and you decide to do it, there's nothing the governor can do or nothing the security agents can do. So talking about if they are silent about it, nobody's silent about death and about crime. Because if they rob anybody today, you make noise, you go to the police. That is not silent. If they burn anybody's house, properties today, of course, it is not silent, you talk. If they decide to raid a particular joint today, it is not silent, you talk. So the issue of saying they get silent, no, I disagree. They are not silent except you just want to criticize because you want to talk, because you are not favored by the government. Everybody must not be favored by the government. Everybody must not be favored by the government. So whatever you get, if it's not your camp, that is not to say it is bad. Many of them will criticize that, yes, they don't want to talk because they are tired of talking. Whether we like it or not, you can never get tired of talking except it has not reached the person. Before now, are you saying they like talking, that's why they were talking? No. The issue of kidnap was rampant. The issue of restiveness was rampant. Communities against community and what have you. against companies, against individuals. Court activities was on the high rate. Just name it. Are you saying they are quiet? No, they are not quiet, because nobody will sleep when his house is on fire. So, because if your house is not on fire, of course, you can rant and make noise. Everybody knows that you just want to talk because you like to talk. So they are not quiet. It is because of the present condition and situation we have in Delta State, and we are privileged to still be here compared to other. Look, I go to Zamfara, I go to other places, see what is happening there. You cannot compare. The crime in Lagos is worse than that of Delta, but they try as much as they can to subdue, keep it quiet. They don't want to go on hell. If not, on a daily basis, you have more than expected crime rate in Lagos State.